You're really talking very serious. Well, Ronnie, you should have allowed them to permit. It was a request.
You're consenting to be recorded. Ooh, leave meeting or continue. I'm leaving. I'm kidding.
Go on, guys. Awesome. I really, I know I've come in late, but $1 million conversation.
Hiyo ilikuwa tu, by the way, tulikuwa tumeachwa palipa moto, hatukuwa tunajua direction ya hii discussion.
Keep it that way. Mimi, I'm preparing something to eat.
Okay. So to answer your question, for me, number one, I know that's deception, because sababu this person knew who he was from like the struggles that they're going to. Sababu unajua ukiambia mtu from the beginning that this is what you're going through, I mean, this is who you are as a person, then the person has the liberty to make a decision whether to continue or not. Because I mean, having a husband who loves men and doesn't desire you, it will make you feel worthless as a woman. You'll feel undesirable, many bad emotions, and it will make you become either a resentful person, bitter. Sasa mimi nikikuwa kwa that situation, wow, hiyo ni swala nyeti, because sasa now people say, oh, I'm staying there for the kid, but then you'll be an unhappy person. So this is where you need to choose happiness, because what's the point of living under the same roof with someone whom you clearly know doesn't even love, cannot even love you the way you want to be loved, because he doesn't understand how to love a woman. Hapo to the best thing to need divorce. Okay, in my opinion, divorce.
I think people have people don't get it. People wanga wanasema when a kid comes into marriage, something what they cling onto in marriage is the kid. Mimi wanga naenda contract. Mtoto hakukuwa hapo mkikatiana.
Yeah.
That is number one fact in watu wanafaa kujua. It is me and you when walikuwa na make all these things, all these agreements. Mtoto yeye ni fruit. And that is one thing we need to understand. Every single child that comes into marriage is a fruit. And it's a gift.
So question, Ronald. Question before we move on from that point. So supposedly, umekuwa married and then you've not gotten a kid. And it's not working. And maybe you're arguing from the outside, you're the power couple. From the inside, you guys mnataka kunyongana. Will you break that? Will you break off that marriage, or will you try and make it work?
Power couple. But you see, who am I living for? You see, let me tell you something. Okay, from my experience, after today, I don't know. I was talking with Maureen. Unfortunately, she's not here. Like, if I look at myself in the space I am in currently, even after going through this prayer for my partner, the men I was with before this, I was tolerating things I shouldn't have. And sometimes we do that maybe because of societal aspects. You want to be seen, you have a boyfriend, blah, 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 this kind of things. But you see the same kind of man who has not worked on himself and comes into my space right now. I cannot even accommodate that because I don't feel comfortable. I feel you're not on the same level. Because the level I was in back then, I was a person who had allowed the world and other aspects to control what I really desire. So if I say it because I'm a power couple, then I stay in a marriage where tunachapana mangumi sijui nini. I'll be unhappy for the rest of my life. For who? For the world. Every day I sleep, they don't even know I'm sleeping. They'll talk about it, that I'm power couple, but how the moment they tumetoka from their vicinity, then I go back to my reality, which is an everyday kind of thing. They don't know the pain I'm going through and all. So for me, from my experience, before ni dunia inichanganye nifanye vituko before, I wouldn't have tolerated, but I tolerated later on after dunia imenichanganya, yani being in an unhealthy relationship that is not working. But now the space I am in, I've known that having been first, second, and now where I am, I know better how to look out for my happiness and not to stay in situations that make me a negative person and bitter. So I see mieri tu nitoke, hakuna maneno ya power couple.
Sawa, bado
in my
kujibu
life.
swali yangu. Sawa,
Gani
umepata
hilo?
hizo vitu zote zingine, but he's not good in bed at all. Like, yes, just like that. How do you go about it? And not hurt his feelings and also not hurt your own feelings.
What do you mean? Divorce.
Therapy iko, my friends. Kwani kuna vitu zingine, mimi one thing nimekam plan. Ushaikaa chini ukajiuliza Adam alijuaje kusaya na Eve?
Ati alijuaje?
Alijuaje kunini kulala na Eve?
Ati alijuaje kulala na Eve? O venye alijua, si ni Mungu aliwafanya wajue, ama venye Mungu ameweka hiyo kitu in them, like something in them that they know how to sleep together, ama how did you ask?
Definitely. So
Bible inasema they knew each other.
Definitely. Ukisoma the Bible inakwambia vizuri, they knew each other. And the knowing, it's not the new ya kujuana. The knowing si new ya kujuana. The knowing ni sex. Hiyo ndio kitu tunafaa kuangalia. But my question ni, suppose things are going wrong. Is that the end of each and every single thing? Kwa sababu mi understand that fine, someone should not come into bed and make things for you. It's you to make them. But if you are not making them right, therapists are there to help you understand where the problem might be. And this time around, I'm not pushing people to pornography to see what exactly happens.
Mbona sikuelewi?
Sawa, Wandera, we are not going to pornography. It's just a kiulizo.
Or kiulizo ati if he's not satisfying you in bed. Kuna somewhere,
Yeah.
I don't know where. Okay, this thing I know. Okay, it might sound funny. Okay, okay. Hapa ndio ni kama utarecord ama?
Ni sawa, nitakat. Acha niweke post.
Just go for it, Ruth.
You see, for the longest time when I'm praying, I've been praying for, okay, when I started praying for my partner, like the things I started writing, there's someone who kept telling me, Ruth, just be specific and God will actually give you. Now, because I don't want to practice sex before marriage, there's something I included in my prayer. I asked God to give me someone I'll be compatible with sexually, that the two of us will satisfy each other, because God knows, he knows what you need. So hakuna hii maneno mtu ananiambia, oh, come drive test kwanza before ninunue gari. So already and then I decided to start putting my faith in that, and I am so strong on it, telling God, I know you're gonna give me someone whom I'll be sexually compatible and attracted to. So hiyo tu nimekuwa nikikuwa na hiyo feeling, and I still believe God atanifulfillia, sababu nimeona ukimwitisha kitu, so unajua nasemanga Biblia, huwezi mwitisha A na kupatie B, as long as you believe that particular thing and you don't doubt it. So it's been part of the list of the things I've really desired in my lifetime partner, because I understand that I mean your package is very important, like the sexual aspect in marriage. But then ni kama ukiangalia hivi, when a virgin and a virgin meets, of course whatever they experience is whatever they need to experience. Now it's been designed like that by God. When you meet a virgin gets married to someone who's been experiencing every other person, but this is a virgin who's not experiencing any kind of a situation, utakuta either in marriage they might cheat because they feel like this virgin is inexperienced. And that's why I think the aspect of God saying we should not fornicate in the commandments, they come in, because if you start from 0 to 1, hiyo kama mechi iko 0-0, then inamaanisha nini? Utaona una compare with something because you've already experienced it. But even if the two of you ni 1-1, unaweza kuta your partner is not satisfying you the way somebody in the past did, unaona? So unakuta kuna cheating inaanza, adultery ina come into play. So I just believe in praying and being specific, especially if you're a person who doesn't believe in sex before marriage. Just ask God to give you someone when you utakuwa sexually compatible with. That's my opinion.
That's deep truth.
Unaweza unmute sasa. Unaweza
Sawa.
unrecord.
Sawa.
Lakini ulikuwa una record. Naona hapa imeandikwa
I also
recording.
believe in that.
Nimekuwa tu
Ruth
nikiona
umechezwa.
recording. Niliona akinicheza. Alafu naona ile story ulikuwa
Tunakucheza.
unasema.
Ouch.
Ile story.
Keep
There's a
this
story, there's
conversation.
something you
doing
said. There's something you said nilikuwa nataka kubuild on Ronald. Unaona wakati there's a book, there's a picture I want you guys to create in your mind. Look at a very small circle. Just draw a very small circle. Pale kadogo. That's a small circle. When you're married, it's the when it comes to individuals like the husband and wife, everyone's relation it should be built on God, and the relationship between you and your God and your wife and your and her God and the other way around should be private. I mean, it should be personal. Sorry, it should be personal. Like everyone has a personal relationship with their Lord. Kila mtu ataenda mbinguni kivyake, because yes, mko married, lakini I look at it like it's a personal relationship everyone has with their God. And then after that, a small little circle, draw another bigger circle outside the small one. Now that is the relationship between you and your wife, or your husband and you and your husband. So it should be private in an aspect that not even children should interfere with it, because you guys you came together before even the children came.
Yes.
So you should not even allow things like children every time. Yes, kuna Mungu pale ndani, nyi wote mumekuwa kwa Mungu. The fact that the two of you are for Christ and are for God, then when you come together with those qualities that you have God in you, then you even understand how to protect your marriage. Then outside there, kuna you and your partner and your children, the third circle. So on your circle, and that circle, maybe kuna aspects za maybe aunties nini wanaweza ingililia na other families. Then kuna a bigger circle where friends and the rest of the world. So you should check whom you allow into every circle. Your marriage is like a bedroom. Wageni wakikuja kwako hawaanzi na bedroom yako, wanakaa kwa living room. So unaona, sababu kuna vile bedroom ni sacred. So sasa hiyo relationship yako na bwanako na wewe na bibi yako inafaa ikuwe private to that level, like your bedroom. Just look at it from that angle. So you need to answer your question to build on what you said. Before the children, you are together, the two of you. Sindio? Now what brought you together is the Lord.
Yes.
Sijui nilikuwa nasema nini hata.
Amen. Amen, Ruth. Amen.
Wacha na hiyo, nimemaliza sana mimi.
Sawa. Mary, you had something?
No, whatever Ruth has said is good enough. My question is to Denis.
Mr. Maina.
Unmute.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
my question.
So Liangu, okay, my question is, yes, you want to get married, and after marriage, people expect like kids, and even your husband is expecting you to have kids. What if you don't feel like having kids, and he's not understanding enough to know that you don't want kids, and the society is also not understanding enough to know you don't want kids?
I really love your question, by the way.
Yes, that is my question.
Now, before Denis answers that question, there's something that I was watching, I think, 2 days back. And there's this guy that had an issue. Actually, it's a movie by the name Marriage Retreat. So the guy does not want children, but the wife wants children. So they go for a therapy, and the guy insists that I don't want children. But now, one thing that just caught my eye was this guy tells the guy in question that if the wife says no, both of you have said no, because the two shall become one.
Lakini Wakati you are dating, did you not discuss whether you want a child or not? That is the question I should ask you, Mary. What was that issue addressed? Number one, sababu ukianza kudate tuambie mtu
kwa tuliaddress, lakini you know, each and every single day you develop, and again at dating period kuna tuongo twingi as much as kuna tu ukweli. So ujui ni gani imepakejiwa vizuri, ujui kama hiyo story ya watoto alipackage ndo uingie box, you never know.
I've seen also people who are in marriage. When I was doing alabastron, I'll give you a very small thing, story of 3 different kind of women. When I was doing alabastron, they gave us a testimony, and when they were, one was 65 years old, she came and she told us that the husband, hapa ndio uta record
Sawa.
because unajua ni testimony ya mtu. I just want to share so that at least you can get a perspective. No, bado unaandika recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we could also want to hear from them. Nani abadilikangi?
Sijui.
Acha tusikie kutoka kwao. Nani abadilikangi?
Sijui.
Acha tusikie Karanja anasema nini. Karanja ama Goge?
Yes.
Let's just hear your opinion. Your stories imeendelea hapo. Men and women, who change, who doesn't?
Personally, okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good
Good evening, Karanja.
Okay. Personally, I think women tend to change faster than women. I have been in the same situation. The same situation Ruth has been speaking about. Okay. From my own perspective, I have dated a woman who wanted children when I was at 23, but I wasn't ready. When she reached 25, she saw there was no future in us. So she decided to leave. But we had discussed it, and I told her once I reached 30 is when we can now have a conversation about having a family or starting a family. So I guess, but there was a time I had promised her by the time she's 27, we will start a family. Then something just came in. So I guess we meant to change faster. We are meant to change faster than women. That is from my own perspective.
Okay, good. Thank you. Someone else, another gentleman. Okay. Want to unmute and say something? Meanwhile, can we have Ray? Ray, where's uongeange too while Ngoge is unmuting?
Sorry, I think I have a slight internet disruption. But yeah, I think also in my life I've encountered men who I think I've had an intention of wanting a kid from me. Hata kuna wengine ashaniambia outright, nataka mtoto kwako. And for me, I tried to run away from such. For me, I've always believed in marriage. I've always believed in doing that the right way. So, but yeah, I have seen even the family was that this lady was even trying to trap me into that as well. And when I don't know, but when I refused to give in, I think she slept with a friend of mine. And a friend of mine compare mimba. I don't know what was going in her mind, but I don't have much to say. Yeah. Then that guy with the define, and then we were friends, and the men talk. So he's talking the way uh, they slept with her, and yeah, really on a ball nanini. But the lady had tried to alikuwa ameavoid kuniambia. Yeah, she was just telling me she was pregnant, but I didn't know the guy. So I just came to realize from my friend's mouth. So I think things happen outside there, but I believe in yeah, people change. I think there's that theme which I was hearing. I think Dennis was just saying about. I think as people mature and grow, both men and women, I think we do tend to change, and sometimes we're afraid of change. But I think it's to always strive to be better. Yeah, and as you realize yourself, you try and be better.
Tibo, I know you're new around. Do you want to say something, Ama? You want to keep it silent? Tibo.
I think we can continue. We can carry on, eh?
Okay. So today, you people have really had some serious conversations. Personally, I am mesmerized by the amount of knowledge that you have. I really don't care where knowledge comes from. If it is knowledge, even if it's coming from someone who doesn't have experience, it's still knowledge. We do not dispute and despise knowledge since it has come from another source. And beautiful words by Ruth, wonderful words by Coach Ronnie. And you guys have discussed gay. And let's also add these other relationships, lesbians. You are married to this lady who has just come into the relationship for formality purposes, for just to be known that she's married, but she's into women. And you see, when you see girls in your house as a husband, you will never worry. You will never have a problem. Usema tu asanteni, umekuja, muko na chama, and off you go. Without your knowledge, that's a sexual partner to your spouse. And the same case, because you guys have just discussed the men having other men as their partners, but it happens also to ladies. And unfortunately, some of these realities are coming and becoming more and more prevalent, and people are coming out, and especially with all these rights and movements fighting things, people are coming out cleanly and plainly. But I don't know if you have realized that these preparations we've been having have been quite a covering in terms of very many areas of conversation. In that now you know yourself in a deep way, and you can easily now have a conversation with your spouse to be. Unamuuliza maswala nyeti. Do you love other men? If you are a lady, do you love other women? When you discover who you are, you know that your happiness is apex and a priority. And so you are able to safeguard yourself long before you enter into a relationship. But then wakati ya ujijui, you compromise a lot. You really compromise a lot. And I know many people today are being fought in terms of compromise, and the world wants compromise at all times, so that you lower your standards, you lower what you want, so that the world can fit into you. Rather, you are alone in this thing. Let me just be honest with somebody. You are alone in this thing. In a marriage, you are also alone. You are alone, even when going to, whether your journey is to heaven or to hell, you are alone. This companionship to hell or to heaven is not a reality. It is a reality when you know your journey and it is clear, and then you ask, who else is in this journey with me? And then you take the journey together. So that hata kama someone is hell-bound, don't disturb our heaven-bound. And if you are heaven-bound, also don't disturb our hell-bound. You do due diligence. Stick to your lane. Stick to your lane, so that if you are a liar, you get liars to operate with. If you are a truthful person, get a truthful person, however long it takes. You seek out your truthful person, because you trying to hang out with a liar to change them. People don't change, whether men or women. They change when they want. People don't change because you told them to change. They can camouflage for the sake of you, but then they won't really change. They will just camouflage so that they have their benefits for now, if there is any good benefit, and then later on, off you go, and off they come out, and true to them, they will kill you in the process. So you want to have conversations, and truly spoken Ruth, you want, as Ruth has put it, you want to have conversations and meaningful. And I'm glad that someone is even praying for sexual compatibility. And I want, not negating what Coach Ronnie said. Coach Ronnie indicated that there is therapy for everything, by the way. You can always reach out. So if sex is a problem, there's nowadays we even have sex therapists. You can sit with them as a couple, and wherever you have a problem, you will be helped. And there is also health organizations and people, doctors, who have taken nutrition very seriously. So even if it is libido issues, they are bound to be sorted. So in our society today, there are many solutions to things. Just don't keep quiet with your problem. Mary, when you enter that marriage and you're not getting sexual satisfaction, piga nduru, sema tu, kuna mtu anaweza nisaidia. And someone you will get help. There is enough help outside here. Only seek in the right places, not in the wrong places. And if we have a balanced way of operating and thinking, then we will not fall short. And let me just say this and say it again. Your happiness is your personal issue. So when you are choosing to go with someone, it's important you ask yourself, are they reducing my happiness, increasing my happiness, or keeping it the status quo? The least and the minimum you should demand of someone is at least keep my happiness intact. If you're not adding to it, don't reduce it. So this issue of compromising your joy so that you please someone who's not even trying anything to help you out, when it is at the preliminaries, please don't. But if you're caught up in marriage, you see, that's a whole ball game again. Sasa hapo you are played and you fell for it. Now you're caught. Now that's a whole ball game. But then it's not also a recipe to kill yourself, to die there. Seek help. Don't wait till your self-esteem has been killed. You no longer have limbs like the way I see on TV. People are suffering quietly. Hey, today we have help from everywhere. And if someone is really can lift up a hand and lay it on you, whether man or woman, it doesn't really matter with all this violence I'm seeing. They really must hate themselves so much. For someone to hit you, they really must hate themselves. You see, and hate comes in two dimensions. One dimension is they don't like what they see, so they hate. So, and a second dimension is you are so angry and bitter with yourself, so you hate. I don't know if you're seeing both dimensions. You don't like what you see, so you hate. And you're so bitter and angry within yourself, so you hate. So either way, foundation for hatred, wrong, completely wrong. So if someone has to hit you, to beat you, it doesn't matter how evil you are. You didn't force them to you. If you're so evil and they feel like they need to hit you to get the evil out, then they are too childish. It only takes a serious grown-up to say, you know, I think I can't put up with this. If we can't have a conversation, then it's only right that we don't mess each other up. So conversations are key. And if people would learn to have conversations right from the word go, then even in marriage, you'll have conversations. If you don't have conversations from the word go, marriage too, you'll not have conversations. And this is the major area of suffering in many marriages. People are suffering because people are not talking. People are finding, hey, I can't tell my wife this. I can't tell my husband this. So people are having things they can't share. So you imagine having some second, third party who you can share something that you can't share with your first party. It's room for disaster. So I think I have said enough of comment for what you guys I heard you speak about. And I'm glad that all of you are oozing some serious wisdom. Now, do not despise also your experiences. I have had the experiences from Mary, I've had the experiences from Karanja. Ray has just unleashed his wounds. Someone has made him remember some history. Sorry, Ray. But do not despise your experiences. Those experiences are very important. They tell you what to do and what not to do. The only thing is, in your experience, don't be taught by bitterness. Don't be taught by anger. If an event has taught you and has left you with anger, you learned the wrong lesson. If the event happened, even if it's as bad as death, and you can dust yourself off and say, you know, here I am still alive, then you learned a lesson. These are the lessons where you are angry, bitter, frustrated. It means you didn't learn your lesson. In fact, can I just say this boldly? If your experience has produced bitterness, anger, pain, you have not learned your lesson. You need to redo. You need to press the button again. Get hurt once more. It is until you look at that situation that is hurting you and say, I am alive for a reason. I can move on. That is when you have learned your lesson. That is when you have learned your lesson. But until then, no lesson. If you're feeling vengeful, no lesson learned. If you're feeling hurt and painful, no lesson learned. And I want to say this when someone is not hurting and when they're hurting, so that you'll remember it. If you're hurting, angry, bitter, frustrated, vengeful, you have not learned your lesson. And guess what? You don't fool the world. The world will always know you have not learned your lesson. So you'll repeat that problem in different dimensions several times till you think, you know, am I bewitched? No, you're not bewitched. You just don't learn your lessons. Just don't learn your lessons. So wake up, learn your lessons, get rid of the bitterness, anger, frustration, let go. Then you are ready to live. Boom. Silence. Are you here, man? You left.
No,
Will they ever utilize fire? They will never utilize fire. So what do they need to overcome in order to utilize fire?
The fear of fire.
Good, very good. So, and now that's the lesson. The lesson is it's not to be afraid of fire. It's to know that fire burns. Do I need to come again? You do not need, the kid needs to learn.
No.
The lesson is, if they learned to be afraid, then they lost the lesson. If they learn that fire burns, they have learned the lesson. So that means if you enter into water and you sink, and you come out of water and you say, I will never enter water again. That's it. Will you ever learn how to swim?
No.
But the lesson is that mass sinks in water.
Yes.
So how do you cause mass to float on water? Then lesson learned. You are ready for innovation. You are ready for creativity. If you jumped up and you fell down, then you learned, oh, I will never jump. I'm so scared. I will never jump again. That is shy, twice shy. I'll never jump again. You didn't learn any lesson. But if you learned that there is gravitational pull that pulls everything down, then you have learned a lesson. You are ready to come up with an ideology that beats gravity, and you can become a right brother for that matter. I don't know if I am making sense.
You are.
So if what your experience produces in you negativity in a whatever form, lesson not learned. Look at the man who created the bulb. I give you a last example. The man who created the Thomas Edison, it is said that he created, I don't know if it is true, whether it is 999 times, and then it's the 1,000th one that he got it. You know what? When he was asked why he kept pushing, trust you me, there is some of us, if we would try 1, 2, 3 times and something fails, hey, Lana. But he kept doing it so many times. I just wonder how many can do it 1,000 times. Like when he was asked, why did you do all that? Why did you persevere on? He just said, every time I made a mistake and it was wrong, I just learned how not to do it. So I never used the same route again. How not to do it. So I learned 999 times of how not to create a bulb. Then the 1,000th one, I created a bulb. Hello?
Yeah. Yeah. The same case with Coca-Cola also.
Go on.
In the first year, they only sold one bottle. You can imagine how many losses did they make. In the first year, they only sold one bottle of Coca-Cola. Not that watu hawakukuwa hapo wakukunywa Coca-Cola. People were there. But tell me, if one day, 1 month, wanaona hakuna any sale and then they feared, they walked away, we wouldn't be having Coca-Cola right now. But they kept on pushing. Then after the first year, things opened up. Now it's the most favorable brand in the world. Hello.
Yes.
Bye bitterness, anger. Bye all those things. Mm-hmm. Thibaut is the person that we were supposed to pray for here.
Not hayuko.
Huh?
Tumwombe amekataa kuingia.
So, quickly, any prayer intentions we pray for as we close down our night? Mimi nitawaacha mkiendelea kuongea, msiseme nimewazuia.